Other questions for Mark? We've got Kenny and then Mike. Go ahead, Kenny. Raise your hand there, and she'll bring you the mic.
Mark, Kenny Bruce with SceneDaily.com. The majority of the people in the garage always talk about how they learned how to race other people by watching the way you raced other people. That being the case, does it surprise you when you see something happen like happened last Saturday night between Denny and Kyle?
That was a racing incident. That doesn't surprise me. I think that two guys racing really, really hard for the big prize. This is all or win or take all. I didn't see anything really, to be honest with you, that I think if I'd have been in either car, I'd have done the same thing as either of them did, to be honest with you. So I think that was just all-out racing, all-star racing.
Let's go with Jeff and then Lee.
Jeff Owens, Scene Daily. Mark, when Kyle was in here earlier, he talked about that he's learned a lot over the years, and he says that he would not have raced Denny that same way. And he said specifically that he's learned a lot from you. Can you just talk about, any conversations you've had with Kyle? And is he maybe not quite as bad as his reputation? I mean, does he respect people on the track a little bit more than people seem to give him credit for?
Yeah, I don't know who is giving him short credit. Certainly not me. I don't have an ounce of problem and never have on the racetrack with Kyle. He's very aggressive, but he keeps it within his, it's in his area. He's aggressive, but he keeps his stuff in his area. He doesn't. He's never breached my space, on the racetrack, and I haven't had a lot of conversation with Kyle, but he is incredibly respectful, and although he may have done some things and had some actions that may have turned some people off, he has also done some things and had some actions that are incredibly admirable. Just one of the things that comes to mind is what he did for Sam Hard, who he couldn't know, and that's just a good example, and many, many more. There's a lot more to these guys than what meets the eye, and I think Kyle has learned some things from experience and from watching and racing with me. As Tony said, I didn't, as Tony has said he has, and some of the other guys, and it's just. It's not something that I preach. I live by a code, and that code works for me, and it has actually worked well for some others as well. And I was taught that code partially by people I raced with too. We had a race we went to Wisconsin and raced Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon with the same car. No backup cars, and they only paid about $400 to win each night. And you didn't need to bend a ball joint or a tie rod or a wheel or fix a wreck. You didn't need to. There was enough maintenance to be done as it was. And the guys I raced with, we had a code that we raced with, and it worked well. And we tore very little up, and we put on great shows and great racing. And I try to. It's a little different now, obviously, but I still try to live by the same code. I try to race people extremely hard, but with respect and the way I want to be raced.
We'll go Mike and then Lee. That probably will wrap it up. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike Nutt from FrontStretch.com. Mark, after Levigation, Goodyear came to the track here with an extremely hard tire, and since then doesn't seem to have backed off of it as much as you might have liked. I was wondering if you would like to see them come with a softer tire that maybe gave up a little bit more, so it put a little more in the hands of the drivers and so much on the tire lasting so long.
I would, but in defense of Goodyear, I don't think that they really have a solution for that. I think a softer tire would blister and fail and we are not having tire failures. And so kudos to Goodyear for that. Part of the problem that we have is the composition of the asphalt. I'm no chemist, but I can tell you it's different, and it has different requirements for the tire. And Goodyear at this time is doing the best that it can to make durable tires for us, and you have what you have. If the asphalt was the same chemistry of the asphalt that was laid 15 years ago, we would be back to a soft tire, and the tire would be wearing and giving up. But that would be because of the pavement and the way the pavement reacted to age. This pavement doesn't react to age the same way. This Vegas here, Darlington, first time Darlington ever. I've been racing since Darlington since 1981. The first time I went there, it was always the same, and now this last batch of asphalt is a different animal, and will continue. It's not going to go back to the old Darlington anytime soon.
Final question, Lee. Go ahead.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Mark, as intimately as you know Roush Fenway Racing, are you surprised that they still continue to struggle as they have, over the last year and a half?
They look like, to me, they're running much better, and I wouldn't consider struggling at this point in time by the performance they're getting on the racetrack. Their cars are pretty strong, and it's just a matter of time when you run like they run to get a win, and then once they get one, if they can continue to perform on that level, they'll get a few more, and if they can up it another step, then they can get a bunch of them. So last year was surprised. This year I'm not surprised. They've stepped it up and are in the game.
Mark, thanks a lot, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you, guys.